Hello, welcome back to another Mail Day video. In this one I'm going to be unboxing a couple of Steelbooks of two films that probably couldn't be much more different from each other. And they both arrived today, and I think I ordered them like maybe at the end of February. It's been at least 3 weeks I think since I ordered them, so I was kinda worried they wouldn't turn up, but you know, I kind of thought, let's just leave it. Let's just wait and see if they arrive. And they did. And sometimes with Zavvi, it does take a very long time for these things to turn up. So let's just dive straight into it and take a look at the first one. Okay, so this is the one I haven't seen, and the one that is kind of well, it is a blind buy. Not kind of a blind buy, it is a blind buy. But it's one I'm really intrigued by. And it looks to be in good condition, which is always good. And I remember when this came out in 2012, I want to say. It's at least been 5 years since this thing came out, and it was in HMV, and it looked really interesting to me, but it was like £23, I think, and I thought that's just not worth a blind buy. And I figured it would go out of print like a lot of these Steelbooks do, specifically ones of anime movies. And I saw that this was still kicking around for a pretty cheap price, so I thought that I would jump on it, and it is Ninja Scroll, the collector's edition. Has a Blu-ray, DVD, and a 20-page booklet. What also intrigued me was that this has a audio commentary with the director Yoshiaki Kawajiri, so I'm assuming that'll be subtitled in English, and that intrigues me to listen to a Japanese commentary. I don't know if I will. It depends if I enjoy the film, of course. But this one is supposed to be a pretty extreme anime movie, but one of the ones along with films like Ghost in the Shell and Akira were kind of credited of being like a new resurgence in interest in anime movies that have kind of took the format into a more serious territory in the 80s and 90s. So I don't know when this one came out. I think this is a 90s one, 1993. So it's again around that era of Akira, Ghost in the Shell, films like that, which I've still yet to see. I need to get into stuff like that, like Ghost in the Shell, particularly with the new live-action movie coming up soon. But I've heard that this is pretty extreme in both violence and sexual content. I think the review on Blu-ray.com said it was borderline hentai, so I probably should watch this alone, just in case. But I'm really intrigued to dive into this. Let's open up the Steelbook and have a look at the artwork and everything. It seems to be set in feudal Japan, which I really like as a setting for movies. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I'm really getting into anime movies, so if anyone has any recommendations for anime movies that aren't Studio Ghibli films, because I've seen most of those and will definitely get around to watching all of them, I'd love to dive into it more. Like I got the Eureka release of Metropolis recently, and that was really cool, and I enjoyed very much watching a non-Ghibli film to kind of broaden my horizons a bit with it. Oh, this is a really nice Steelbook. I really like the both the artwork and the way that it looks on the front there. You can't really see, but it's a really nice one. Spine pretty simple, and on the back, ooh, really nice artwork there. Really cool. I hope I enjoyed this now, because it's a really nice release. And we have a nice little booklet inside, which you don't often get. Looks nice. And some cool inside artwork too. I didn't know if I had inside artwork or not. So yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into this and checking it out. And I want to do some more videos about anime films as well. There's a director kind of ranking video I want to do of an anime director, which I hope to get done in the next couple of weeks. I kind of was working on it like in February, and I just kind of left it. There's one more film I need to see, and I'll be doing an entire filmography rundown of an anime director. But yeah, Ninja Scroll, let me know if you've seen it, what you think about it, and again, throw anime movie recommendations at me, and why as well, like what kind of films they are. But yeah, huge fan of anime, specifically the more mature-oriented ones that have serious stories and themes, and which a lot of them tend to do, you know. But I know that there's very much two kind of schools of anime. There's the, you know, stuff that you see in Ghibli and more serious movies, and then there's stuff that's just like, you know, flashing colors and over the top and all that kind of stuff, huge eyes. That stuff I'm not too interested in. But yeah, but I'm looking forward to delving into more of them, particularly that one now that I have it in Steelbook form, Blu-ray form I should say. The Blu-ray comes before the Steelbook, believe it or not. And now we have the second one here, which again, you couldn't get further away from an anime film really. And hopefully this one is in good nick as well. It appears to be. And this one I was going to get, but the price just I couldn't really justify the price, and it went down again. But I think this went down as low as £4. I wish I could have jumped on it then, but unfortunately I didn't. But it was still cheap, and not that much more than the standard Blu-ray edition of the film. And I should just get to it. It is The Color of Money. Martin Scorsese's film. I'll just open this straight away while I'm talking. It is a sequel to the 1960-something movie, The Hustler. I forgot what year it is. But the movie from the 60s starring Paul Newman, The Hustler, about Fast Eddie, who is a pool hustler. Brilliant film, and I just showed it in I think in a Mail Day video, the steelbook of it. So I wanted to get this one to you know, complete the set, so to speak. The steelbook doesn't look that interesting to me generally, but you know, it would be nice to have two steelbooks of these two films that are very closely linked. And it does have a nice debossed border. The 8-ball there is embossed. The title is embossed. I think I saw Dennis maybe from the Blue Corner post this on Instagram, and I thought, oh, I didn't realize that there was like embossing on this. It looks a bit more impressive than the picture on Zavvi. Same on the back, and we have an embossed triangle there, nice with the 9 balls. And do we have anything inside? Yes, we do. That's a nice image, and I really like this film. It's nowhere near as good as The Hustler, which it is a sequel to, but I think that it's an interesting follow-up. Like, the tone is so different, you know, and it's very much an 80s movie, and The Hustler is very much a 60s movie. But to have that same character come back from Paul Newman in Fast Eddie to mentor Tom Cruise's young hotshot pool player character was a really interesting twist. And I watched both movies for the first time back-to-back during my Paul Newman marathon last year, so you can go check that out if you haven't seen it. And yeah, it makes for a fun double bill. It really does, because The Hustler is just like a bona fide classic movie. It's brilliant, and then you get to this, and it's not near the same level, but it's a lot of fun. Like, Tom Cruise is at his kind of early 80s best in this, and I mean like early on in his career. I think this was 86 or something, towards the latter half of the decade, but still Paul Newman is great in this. I think he's better in the original Hustler, but he won an Oscar for this, and so that was cool. I kind of feel like that's kind of one of those kind of you know, pat on the back, kind of wink wink, you know, lifetime achievement award, because this is certainly not his best performance, but it was nice to see that he did get an Oscar at least once. And I'm looking forward to revisiting this and showing it to Connie, because she's kind of gotten into some of Paul Newman's films as I've been watching them over the past year. And so yeah, very, very different selection of two movies here. Ninja Scroll, an anime movie from the 90s, and The Color of Money, a Martin Scorsese film that people don't really talk about. And I can see why, but I really, really enjoy The Color of Money. And I've heard that the transfer is terrible, which is a shame, because it's one of those catalog titles that is not likely to get a remaster anytime soon. I mean, I just can't see. I don't know who owns it, you know. Oh, it's a Disney release. Or it's, well, it looks like it by the kind of specifications on the back. So I guess this is through Touchstone, right? Okay, yeah. It's just not one of those big titles that they're going to go back and do a remaster of. This is already the 25th anniversary edition, so you know, it's as good as you're probably going to get for a while. Unfortunately, I've heard the transfer is pretty bad, but I think I watched it on a Blu-ray rip before, and it seemed good enough, you know. And it's certainly not like a visually spectacular film that you need the best possible quality, but you know, you always want the best transfer. But apparently it's a bit soft and not the best. But I'll see when I watch it. So thank you for watching. Again, throw your anime recommendations at me if you have any, and I'll see you in the next video.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you, 'cause